curious to your take on the consultancy fund, because it was a little bit your shtick that I put in here.
Yeah, but
you were the first one I heard.
It kind of
say
is.
that.
I mean, at least like, how I. That's. Oh wait, let me make a timestamp. Yeah, well, the thing is, last week I noticed, at least on Telegram, and I saw some screenshots, well, of conversations where the main argument was that, okay, Quant is now moving towards, and it's also something you guys, so you and Bas and Neil spoke about in the Dutch episode a couple of weeks back, that Quant is actually now moving into towards the area of consultancy more and more. So the main takeaway from that argument is that Overledger is here and it's not necessarily generating enough money, and so that Quant is now moving in towards other sites jobs in order to generate more profits for the company, and that can be seen as FUD. So that this is a really bad translation of something that I've noticed, and I think that there is kind of a strength of people in the community who think that way. And when you combine that with the news we got last week about the auditing of smart contracts, which we'll go into now, it kind of starts to make sense for them, at least, right? So they actually get they have some fuel to their arguments.
Yeah, let's. I had an email from somebody. Let's see if he left the history intact.
An email?
No, not an email. The Telegram. I
thought, okay, are they now actually mailing us on the Quamfy Show?
No, it's no. It was about that there are no people using Overledger. Yeah, Overledger is not being used. Nobody bought a license for the
public version.
Yeah. Which is interesting, and that level of reasoning, right, and research, to me, is a little bit funny. And I mean, I know it's the only way we can check, right? You can only check, did somebody purchase the program? Because you can see on the purchase side how many people allegedly bought it, and apparently it's on 0. I don't know, I didn't check because I don't really care. But I know for a fact that the Galileo bots, they bought licenses, and they are not on that counter. Why? Because that was done on the back end, because they needed a custom solution for what they needed, so that did not go through their platform. They are not high profile enterprise clientele, but they are in a way treated as such. And this is my knowledge from 1 year ago, because I'm nearly left. But I know for a fact that a lot of these things get done on the back end. So if there's a counter on the purchase page, then right now, per definition, it is inaccurate and wrong. We do know that there are other companies like Nexi and Spunta and whatever actually using Quant already for quite some time. They are also not there, obviously, because they are in the price. So that already testifies that there's something on the back end. So what this, there's no playing clients, no one cares, so they have to pivot. That is the same type of FUD as people throwing shit at Quant because their GitHub has no commits. Right? I mean, their GitHub is stacked to the brim, but it's all private. And it's the same with these purchases, no doubt. Because why would they share? I would not even know if they have a counter on their program thing, everything. And if why it is there if they're not going to share it. That's a whole other discussion. But it's just crazy. It is just crazy that the amount of people and their connections within Quant, the partnerships that are confirmed, that we still assume that there is no desire for companies to use Overledger. It's crazy. It's maddening. Because there's no commits on GitHub or something like that. Anyway, they, regardless of all this, apparently saw a need to begin a smart audit. To add that to their arsenal. And what I read here is Quant Smart Audit protects, sharing my screen,
Yeah, that was
enterprises against the $4 billion threat of smart contract hacks. So, Blockchain for Finance pioneer Quant launched a new service today for financial institutions, payment firms, and other enterprises struggling to protect their smart contracts and decentralized applications from vulnerabilities. Quant is enabling the secure transformation to decentralization and blockchain networks, migrating from on-prem and cloud infrastructure and applications to distributed ledger technologies. Quant Smart Audit, the first of a suite of enterprise security solutions for blockchain, known as Quant Protect, is a smart contract auditing service designed to provide enterprises with security levels they expect in order to execute their blockchain strategies, delivered by the same expert who powered the Project Rosalind Retail Central Bank Digital Currency project. The link to this is in the description. I read this and I read this and I assumed that this will be a part of Overledger platform. Because of this paragraph, I assumed that this will be a, for the most part, automated thing. Why? The first of a suite of enterprise security solutions for blockchain known as Quant Protect.
Yeah.
If this was merely consulting, i.e., send me an order and I will have 2 people and they will go dive into code, I'd argue that this will not be presented like this.
No, that's not scalable at all.
It's no, and we concluded that in the Dutch episode that because that would not be scalable. And if anything, Quant has always been very lean and strive to be as efficient, even to their own detriment, as possible. I'm talking customer service. It's abysmal. Anyway, so they're already struggling with customer service. They already have a backlog of God knows how long. So I cannot see Luke Riley for every client that needs a smart contract audited, that he will be on his laptop going through all those lines of code. Yeah, there is. Oh, that's a big mosquito. There is AI already capable of doing this, and that is just open source AI, right? ChatGPT can already read code to an extent, so you can only imagine how far private solutions are. Right now, we went to the website and we went to the forum, and you can actually see that they're asking a lot of information. I did not know, because I never audited a smart contract, obviously, how important it is to have all that information ready. But to me, it feels right now that they are doing everything by hand, and that they are probably using that information to start the automation for things.
Yeah.
And it would make sense to me that this auditing service, Quant Protect, will just be another icon on the Overledger platform that you can click, upload the code, because even now, if you want your code to get checked by Blockworks or whoever does that, you also just send your code and they either do it by hand or they throw it to an algorithm or through multiple tools, and they look for logic and they look for whatever other things you look for in a smart contract. And then it can flag certain parts that probably do not make sense or are just wrong. But that is like 99% of the work. Then you can forward it to a Luke or whatever. He can have a look at it and provide that as feedback, if at all. And then it's scalable again, because then somebody does not have to go through thousands lines of code. They can just have an algo do it, and then everything in the universe is better. So this is just my take. Do not take this as factual. But read the article yourself. financialit.net/news/blockchain/quant smart audit protects enterprise against. That's a very long title. It's in the description as usual. And you can do your own thinking. Because if you think, say, that Quant is pivoting to consultancy because they add a feature like this, I am sorry. Then you have not understood what Quant is about and what they've been trying to achieve for the last God knows how long. What you also don't understand is that this, if this is going to be a very, very big important thing, right? Smart contracts in the future. And we spoke about this in past episodes, but a simple example for a smart contract in insurance is something with your phone. You can just have a smart contract phone insurance. And now you need to wait often to have your case reviewed. And then you can have an insurance agent that just doesn't like you because of your name or your face or the sound of your voice, or because you're not able to write well, your punctuation sucks, and then they can just decide to give you less than your phone is worth. Maybe. I don't know. I know in Europe these matters are usually pretty well taken care of for the average things. But smart contracts can take care of all of that. Right? And it will take some oracles and it will take some work still, but you can take most of the human decisions out of the equation entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah, to have a smart contract work like that requires auditing. And as a programmer, you cannot audit your own work, right? Same as when I upload a YouTube video, I will not see my own mistakes.
Oh, yeah. I audit this for you.
Yeah, exactly. And so that always takes a third party, right? Or in this case, well, the same party. But to do that well. But for businesses, third party is even more important because you need someone with a reputation. Well, we just spoke about the reputations, right, of the company. And with experience and with the tools. And preferably with a low price. And you want them to check your work before you expose your clients to it. Because the reputational damage of a smart contract breach is disastrous. And smart contracts will go even further because you're going to have it with cars and you're going to have it with rent for a ton of things. It will just go on and on and on. And there's going to be a huge market for this. But yeah, you cannot make mistakes. And you need to have the reputation to do it well.
Yep.
And there will be work. And there will be a need to have this, in my opinion, automated and fast. Because right now, if you have your code and you send it somewhere, it can take well up to a couple of weeks before you have your code back or your program. And if then there's something wrong, you go back to the bottom of the pile. Usually, depending on whatever. So, is this consultancy? I don't think so. I do think they still do consultancy, but to me it feels this is maybe it is now, consultancy to a degree. But eventually this most likely will be part of the Overledger platform suite. And then it can be trained to do the auditing of any smart contract.
Yeah.
And that makes it useful for all the verticals we spoke about. What do you think about your medical data and all those type of things, your medical bills, etc., insurance and so on? Smart contracts are also going to evolve, obviously. It's going to be an important thing. And eventually, I think this will be, because right now they're keeping it tight, right? So just for the big companies, the bigger banks, etc. So they still want to limit the influx of requests, financial services, government. But eventually, if everything is properly automated, you can scale this well.